Hi, YouTubers. I'm back after a long hiatus. And as you all know, I like to do local stories in the Chicagoland area. And while I was doing research, I stumbled upon a tragedy that happened right here where I live in Orland Park, Illinois. On December 30th, 1968, five members of a family that included three children and two adults perished in an early morning fire that was caused by a new heating unit that had been installed in the house just 2 months previously. This was locally known as the Biddle family fire. Not many people know about this horrific event that took place 55 years ago, which devastated a family of 10 who just celebrated a Christmas and was looking forward for the new year. I am at St. Michael Catholic Cemetery in Homer Glen, and here is where 8 members of the Biddle family are now resting. And here they are. This is the grandfather, John Hunt, who died in a fire. He was 76 years old. John lived in Wisconsin but stayed with the Biddles during the winter. This is the eldest daughter, Mary, who was not in the house when the fire occurred because she was being dropped off by her mother at the train station. This is the mother, Noreen, who came home at 5:45 a.m. in the morning and helplessly witnessed the house burn to the ground and experienced the death of her loved one. Here is the father, Marian, also known as Buddy, a factory worker, who would have turned 50 a day later if he survived. Next is daughter, Georgieanne, just 15 years old when firemen found her charred remains in the aftermath. This is Matthew, who was just 10 years old when he perished in that fire. And here's Daniel, who was just 7 years old when he died and the youngest of the Biddle family. Next is Thomas, who was 14 at the time and one of the three children that survived fire, along with his 19-year-old brother John and 16-year-old sister Jean. Thomas died in 1981 at the age of 26. Not buried here are survivors John and Jean Biddle, who both might be alive today. The three children that survived were injured in the fire, especially the sister, Jean Marie, who broke a window and leaped off 1.5 stories down to escape the blaze. She suffered second and third degree burns. Now I'm going to the location where the Biddle family house once stood, and it's less than 2 miles from the cemetery. Back in 1968, Orland Park was just starting to develop into the busy town that it is known today. So there wasn't a lot of houses and businesses here at that time. It was basically a small farming town. And here's the area. I'm going to park my car and take a walk and tell the story of how this tragedy unfolded. On an early Monday morning at 5:05 a.m., Mrs. Noreen Biddle left the house to drop her daughter, Mary, off the train station. Her father, John Hunt, was the only person awake at the time. The rest were still sleeping. When she returned 40 minutes later, she saw smoke and an orange glow in the living room. And all of a sudden, her eldest son John quickly ran out of the burning house after being awakened by the smell of smoke, followed by his brother Thomas. John tried to get back in the house to help the others get out, but the flames spread rapidly and blocked off the entrances to the home. It was about this time when her sister Jean Marie jumped from her bedroom window. John then ran across a neighbor's house and the owner called the fire department. At around 6 a.m., the first fire trucks arrived, but it was too late. The home was entirely engulfed with flames. The firemen tried their best to extinguish the flames, but to no avail. The flames were too strong and the roof of the house soon collapsed, sending charred debris through the first floor and into the basement. When the fire finally died down hours later, rescuers found 3 bodies under the rubble. In the basement, possibly the 2 younger boys and girl, and the 2 more bodies at the rear of the house, possibly the father and grandfather. They never had a chance to get out. And here's the property where the Biddle house once stood. It's a very sad thought of how this family suffered. A family of 10 was quickly cut down in half in less than a day. I'm sure the 5 surviving family members went about their lives the best they can, supporting one another after this fateful fire. With 3 more passing away over the years, and now only 2 family members are left. With that, I commemorate this video on the memory of the Biddle family of Orland Park. Rest in peace.